Welcome back to MHK All Day. Manhattan has always had a thriving local music community, with its members coming from both on and off campus. Last Friday, K-State's student-run radio station Wildcat 91.9 and the Union Program Council celebrated that community by putting on their first ever Wildstock. The event was originally planned by UPC as a school celebration concert for students as they returned to campus for in-person classes. However, UPC quickly connected with Wildcat 91.9 for the opportunity not only to give K-State the chance to experience some of what the Manhattan music scene has to offer, but also a chance to give some of its students in that community a chance to share their talents and passions. The concert featured performances by current K-State student Kyrs Williams, former K-State student and American Idol contestant Ben Shavrin, Kansas City-based hip-hop duo The Black Creatures, and Netflix and TikTok star Spencer Sutherland. With a great first lineup and a successful turnout, both UPC and Wildcat 91.9 appear to already be planning for future events.
When it comes to Wildstock, we set it up in a way and kind of market it in a way that it can continue to go, and that's the intention. I think that this is a beginning of a tradition.
And so what we have planned for the future is can't quite talk about all of the aspects yet. And on top of that, really focusing and honing in on how we can support our local musicians and bringing them concert and publicity and just as much exposure and practice as we can give them.
Wildcat 91.9 and UPC were not the only ones looking forward to future performances. Many local performing artists and musicians are excited for the opportunities in the coming semester will bring for live shows. This week, I sat down with Kyrs Williams, or as she's known in the local music scene, DJ Kyrs, in a new segment where we'll be speaking with some of the newest artists and musicians to call Kansas home. Welcome to the Garage. Hello everyone, welcome back to this new and improved version of The Garage. My name is Perez, and I am here today with Kyrs Williams, otherwise known as DJ Kyrs. Kyrs, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So, Kyrs, the main thing that I wanted to do in this interview was just kind of get to know, I guess, kind of your origin story and like how you got into DJing, how you got into the music scene in Manhattan, and then, you know, kind of just get to know what you're doing right now as a DJ and a musician. So,
Okay.
All right. So I guess, yeah, first question was, what kind of inspired you to get into DJing, or what was your kind of entry point?
I've always loved music. I feel really strongly that like music can change lives. I mean, it's changed my life. It's saved me from things, I feel like. So just like growing up, I was always around music too. My dad always played records, especially on the weekends when he was off and I didn't have school. Like we'd start our mornings off with like records and like Jackson 5 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I actually started DJing wedding like receptions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, years ago. That was my first kind of like experience with DJing, but nothing like what I do now as far as DJing.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you've had 2 gigs. I know one of them was Wildstock.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
The other one was through UPC as well. It was the Glowcade.
Okay.
That was like before COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of COVID, I feel like it's kind of hard to ignore talking to any musician without talking about that, considering it kind of eliminates a very large portion of what you can do in terms of live music.
Sure.
Was COVID a really big hindrance for you? Were you still able to work on stuff, just not perform? But what was that like for you?
It didn't really affect me as far as like being a musician, and it's funny because I don't even really consider myself a musician. I just like to play music and vibe. Like I don't know, I don't play like I've taken like piano lessons like when I was a kid and stuff, but like instrument wise, I can't really play a lot of instruments. And I like interviewing artists more than anything. So it hindered that. That's what I really felt affected. Like that's how I felt affected by COVID a lot. I wasn't able to have the face-to-face conversations that I loved so much. I didn't get to have those conversations, getting to know these artists and what they're about, because I value conversation a lot. I think people sleep on it.
Yeah.
I like to learn about people through their storytelling. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I really missed during COVID.
I do really feel like there's this super strong sense of community, and I think you probably feel that too, but is that something that, I don't know, do you think that that's something that maybe is like kind of unique? I mean, I think there's a unique sense of community here, and I don't know if you've necessarily felt that, but if you have, could you like describe it a little bit?
Yeah, definitely being involved with MHK music scene, I have seen a really cool, unique community full of creatives.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, growing up, I didn't really feel that sense of community
Yeah.
here, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And especially through the music scene, to me, we didn't really have a really big one. But since getting involved with like K-State, UPC, and MHK music scene, I've seen that we do have a really cool community, and I like that. I think it's really inspiring and motivating too, and you get to link up with people that you might not have linked up with to create cool stuff without having some kind of connection with MHK or K-State.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.